Hi, I am Kanika from Bakes by Kanika. Have you ever tried baking a bread without yeast? Yes, it's possible. So let's try an Irish traditional recipe known as soda bread. I have specially made this recipe eggless for you. So let's begin. So in this recipe, to make this bread healthy, we have taken 50% whole wheat flour and 50% of your all-purpose flour. Then we'll be adding 10 grams of milk powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of castor sugar, powdered sugar or fine sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Please be very careful about the baking soda. Please don't take it too much, otherwise your bread will taste very bad and also it will turn green in color. Now I will be adding cold butter. So I have just cut the butter into very small cubes and I'll be rubbing the flour with these uh, butter so that the butter gets mixed into the dough. We don't need to melt the butter, we don't need to rub it too much so that everything gets combined with the flour. It has to be slightly coarser texture. Now I'll be taking buttermilk. So this is 450 ml of buttermilk. So please keep in mind that we have to take buttermilk and not milk, because buttermilk will react with your baking soda to rise the bread, as there is no yeast in this particular bread. And we'll be adding in turns this buttermilk, otherwise sometimes it becomes too runny. So we'll be saving some amount of buttermilk if our flour doesn't require much. So we don't need this bread, we just bring all the dough together. So, and this process has to be very fast, because if your buttermilk and your uh, baking soda will react, then your bread will not rise. So we have to do it fast so that it reacts in the oven. So I have just collected the dough and I'll using like 7 to 8 times I'll be just folding the dough and keeping it back. I'm not kneading. So finally when the dough is has just come together, I will just place it in a pan. See, now the dough has come together and you will see that there are a lot of cracks in the dough. So that is perfectly fine. We don't need to make it smooth. This is the perfect texture for our bread. So now we'll put it in a pan and we'll put a parchment paper below it just as a security so that the bread doesn't stick to a pan. I have taken a cast iron pan. You can take any other pan or even a baking sheet. So now we will just flatten it and we will, using a knife, we will just put a cross in it so that the air escapes when we are baking the bread. And also we'll just put slight knife marks on all the sides of your bread. So we'll brush it with some buttermilk and then sprinkle oat and sesame seeds. So this is optional. If you want to do it, please do it. Now we will bake this bread in a preheated oven at 210 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes, and then we'll reduce the temperature of the oven to 200 degrees Celsius and then bake for another 30 minutes. And please keep in mind, do not open the oven door while baking the bread. So this will give a very nice color to your bread and it will give a very crispy texture to it. You can see how beautifully the bread has risen. The cracks are wide open and it has become a very well risen dough. Also, this bread tastes very different from a yeast bread. So, this bread, also the flavor and the fragrance of the bread is very different. So, I'm sure you will like this bread. We can cut the slices of the bread and use it as we use a normal bread. So like I have used it in a garlic open toast, we can toast it. We can use this bread with curries. So Irish people usually eat this bread with soups and curries. And then we can apply butter and jam also. So options are endless. So you can use this bread the way you like and prefer. I hope you will try the recipe and let me know in the comment sections. Also, do not forget to like, subscribe and share this recipe with your friends. So bye for now till we meet again. Bye bye.